Okay, what we got here today is a door that is making a clicking and popping sound. This is very common on all your Chrysler products, Town Countries, Intrepids, Chargers. This part that they have is called a door check. As you can see, it's a dormant part available at your nearby auto parts stores. You can go online and get them also. There are cheaper versions. Just so you know what it sounds like, you'll probably familiar with this sound. If you listen to the doors when you're opening and closing, say your door's closed, you're going to open, you're going to hear a pop or a click sound. You can hear that. Do that again. Now that's this part down here. Come on down here. That would be this part right here. This is called a door check. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, see if I can make it pop again. Get a little closer so you can hear the sound on it. Okay. And I'm going to, there it is. Very common on all your Dodge, Chrysler, they're all the same. Part number varies from vehicle to vehicle. To change that part though, you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver, a 10mm socket or wrench, and a Phillips screwdriver. The screwdriver in the Phillips is basically to remove your door panel. Okay, so you know, on a lot of your Chryslers, they hide the screws. And if you look down here, there's a reflector. Everybody says, oh, that's the light. Not necessarily. Some vehicles, upper version, they'll have a light in them. But what you would do, you're going to very carefully, without breaking it, you want to pop off that reflector. And if you look up inside of here, holding the quarter of the panel, there is a Phillips screw way up inside of there. And then you want to remove the speaker cover. Usually you could pop them, just put a little screwdriver and they pop off. And you got your screws that hold the speakers. Sometimes the same screw will be holding this whole corner of the door solid. And another spot that you're going to have to loosen is up here. There's a little plug. You pop that little plug. There is another Phillips screw. You're going to have to remove that one also. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove these screws. And then once I get them off, I'm going to pop the panel very carefully. It's gonna, there's little plastic clips, and if you can, use a screwdriver. And you go behind there, you'll look underneath very careful, and you can pop them. Clips will come out the bottom. You're gonna raise the door panel. You'll like bump it up. It unhooks the top, and then very carefully, you're gonna have your wires will be plugged in. And if you want, you can disconnect the wires, or very carefully set your door panel down to get access. Okay, I'm gonna remove this panel. And then I'll come right back and I'll show you where everything else is at. Go. Okay, on this door panel, I got some of the screws out. Just a quick update on what I just said. Where this Phillips screw is, when I popped off, I got looking in here, there was a 10mm nut I had to remove, which is holding the panel also. I removed this screw, and there's another screw behind this piece of plastic here. There it is. Like I said, you got to really watch these doors. They hide screws up inside different areas. Down in here, there's another one I'm going to have to remove also. So like make sure you get them all out so you do not break your door panel. There's one down here. This is another one that's hid behind the little plug. And that's a Phillips screw also. Very common on all your Chryslers. A lot of screws are going to be kind of in the center of the door, because what happens when you pull on your door, it takes a lot of pressure and it usually breaks all this plastic. So that's why you got to check for screws down in these areas, behind the little covers. Usually where they're all going to be. Okay, so what I'll do, remove that screw. I should have had a magnet here, and I don't.
Hey, watch your language.
And then I should be able to grab the door, everything properly, and it should come apart. popping the clips in the bottom. And what do we got? We got some more screws. Here we go. One here, another one down here. That one's out. Okay, let's try it again. There we go. Like I said, you need to check all this screws out. Pull easy, is that coming? Be another screw. Look, I'm finding more screws. There we go. Alright. There we go. Gotta get behind there. Pop some clips. Another screw. Just as I had told you. Just don't force nothing. Just be careful. You're doing this in the cold, that's the worst time to do it. Make sure you got a heated garage. Somewhere warm. This plastic gets brittle. And if you got an older vehicle, chances are they're going to be broke too. There we go. And then this here clip, if you want, that's for your door latch up here so you don't break it. Pop your clip off. Oh my goodness. Right there. Slide. I should just pull right up and out. Like so. Okay, I can, without removing the wires, as you can see down here. Sometimes you can just unplug those. But this panel looks like it's going to go down far enough for me. Okay, if you want your other option, if you really want a lot more room, you can remove the speaker out. I'm going to try to do this one without removing the speaker. Okay, what I got is a 10mm with a ratchet wrench. What I'm going to do here, I'm just going to take off, there's two screws on the nuts on here, 10mm. This stuff comes apart really simple.
Hey, I can't see the screws. I can't see them.
Okay, here, let me get your camera up in here so you can see where I'm removing. Here, hop up over in there if you have to. These are 10mm. Sometimes you may have to get in there with a little universal or something. And right now, as you can see, that's stuck. Oh, that's just there we go. Okay, let me go a little shorter on it now. Crack it loose. There we go. And I'm going to remove this screw. And then we're going to remove this bottom screw also. Air tools make it a lot nicer, faster. Let's see if that comes off a little easier. Fingers. Yeah. There it comes. Alright. Okay, I got the screws removed out of this door check here. Now it's real simple. I got the speaker still in on this one. Should be able to just wiggle it in there. And there it comes. You got to play with this a little bit in the hole. And there it is. There's the door check. I'd like to pry this open. I'll do that at the very end. We'll pop it open and we'll take a look on the inside just to see what it is. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to replace it with a new one, which is where, here it is. Sorry. I'm going to replace it with this brand new unit. As you can see, not much to them. Metal, junk plastic, not made to last long. If you also notice, see, he has a bumper stop. That one's actually just was worn out, broken away on this also. That's probably what happened. This door was opened too far at one time, and it just took its toll on the rubber, and when it went too far, it snapped. So then, to install the new one, make sure you pay attention. When this was in there, you have this curve This curve was going this way. Some varied. Some will be that way. Some will be this way. So make sure you pay attention to that curve. And then I'm going to install it. Just reach back in. Come back through the hole. Like so. Your 2 bolt holes. And then we're going to start reassembling it. We'll put these 2 nuts. I like to just get everything started loose. Just kind of do it all by hand if you're able to. And then bring the part over. And then we're going to start putting these screws back together. Okay, I got my screws all started. Now just get them in there, just don't over tighten them. You don't need to snap a stud or anything, and then you're stuck going out spending another $20 to $35 for another part. Right side on the passenger door is different, has a different part number, so don't let nobody tell you, oh, the same part fits both sides. Not true. It's not true. Nice little ratchet set I got over at the store. I really like these. I can flip a little ratchet. Actually, in these little tight spots. Another little thing I did, I went and bought a little socket set. I've gotten Ace Hardware. They sell a standard, a metric, 1/4 inch drive, cheap set. I had this one now going on 12 years. They still sell them. And I tell you what, this little thing has saved me so much trouble with tight spots because of the flatness and easy to flip. Instead of trying to twist it up here, nice little tool. Something to keep in mind if you're looking for a cheap tool that'll get you through all the time. Okay, I got that on there, and then I'm going to reinstall the door panel again. Now when we do that, don't forget, I've made this mistake before. You gotta put this back on for your door handle. Put it in there, push down, and make sure you lock the clip. Like so. And it just snaps right in place. Reinstall your door panel. You want to make sure you put it in at the top first. Get your door lock button lined up. You're going to come in, line all your glorious plastic all up. As I am having trouble here, what's going on? Oh, right there. Just got to look behind there. So you know, this car I've done a lot of work to. I've done other previous videos on with the motor, and I actually have this car sold. So this is one less thing that the buyer's going to have to deal with on this. See, I already had the part. I went on ahead and I did. Okay, got the top on, it'll latch on. Don't force nothing. And then once you get it checked behind here, you'll see these little pins. They line up with the holes, or there'll be a plastic piece here. Make sure you line them up. Just bump everything together. Same with the front. Everything just snaps together. And then I'll put all the screws back in, and then we're going to try it out and see how it works.
Come on.
Okay, well, I'm going to get these last 2 screws in. And then I can, oh my gosh, some of the easiest stuff sometimes ends up being the hardest. Believe that? One more try. Yes.
Recording.
Ain't supposed to be happening. Alright, I'll get the other one in there. I'll come back to that one in a second. Okay, let's try it one more time here. I get it in there. Bingo. There we go. Alright, pop the reflector back on. Make sure the clips. I don't want to mess this up. Might help if I put it on right too, doesn't it? Box this way. There, and snap. Door panel's tight. Locks. Okay, let's see what we got. The noise is gone. No more door check noise. You look down in here, you can see the new one installed, and you can see how nice it is. Now, from what I understand from a mechanic I talked to, he says they don't put grease on them. The tendency is they assume the grease is going to catch the road dust. Okay, well maybe if you live in the country, but they're put in dry like this in the city. They're dry like this right from assembly from the plant. So why bother? They're supposed to be a good part. So anyways, that's what's involved in that. And this one, of course, is on that 2001 Sebring convertible I had done a while back here on the motor and everything. Nice running car. I ended up putting all the new calipers, rotors, did a full everything, suspension, and nice car. My daughter can't drive it long, so she ended up buying a police interceptor car, good one too. And she asked me to sell this, and I'm selling this vehicle, and I got a buyer for $1,700. It's $200 less than what I got into parts, but it's been a good learning experience. Hopefully somebody gets something out of this on fixing the basic door check. Again, that door check is what makes your clicking and popping. Same thing on all your Town and Countries, Dodge Grand Caravans, your regular Sebrings. They all have that chargers. I'm gonna do a separate quick video after this, and I'm gonna tear that door check apart. Let's see what it is on the inside. Thank you.